welcome in. Hi, April. Hi, Manita. I'm not sure how many people will come in. Hopefully, I got to a lot of the subscribers in the the other room, but there was a lot of people, so I just want to make sure you guys get your time. And again, this happens at least once a week. I will gun for Fridays, okay? But there are times where just, you know, as if my family and stuff, we do things. And I am having a week, I don't know if I can say it. Not everybody knows, but anyway, I have a sister that teaches. She's a teacher in Korea. She moved to Korea a while ago. And there might be a time where she comes home to visit, things of that nature, where I may have to take off and, you know. Hi, this is Beth. Up to you guys what you want to do, really. You're in charge of this show. This is for subscribers only. So if you guys want to talk, if you want to ask questions. I did go live earlier this morning, which I'm going to have to figure out a way to post that live into our videos for subscribers only, because I go into like a lot of information. I talk about I passed away once, which I hope that only happens once. Oh, Remus blocked you after you asked the question about me? Did he know you asked the question? That's crazy. Oh, I see. Cut off. Let me see. Thank you, Mary Heather, for subscribing. Did he know you asked that? You asked the question about why did he block you after that? That's insane. Bad week. Will it get better? Oh, Tanya, let me see. You've been having a bad week. I'm sorry, baby. It gets better, but there's something you're allowing to come back and forth, in and out, that I feel like is causing unnecessary like problems and anxiety. Okay, so you're just gonna have to be aware of that. All right, you're gonna have to set some boundaries around that. I don't know what's happening, but I do feel like there's something or someone that you're allowing sort of some back and forth to come in and out. And cause some issues for you, okay? Oh, you got into an argument after that. So when he called, Tarika, well, we'll meet and yes. Oh, you are letting somebody come back and forth. You're going to have to set some boundaries around that. You know what's funny? That energy, I feel like they carry it with them. Like, you ever have like a friend or know some, because I know some people, you ever have someone that knows that's just very like down, like they just can't really say anything negative. They're always thinking about negative things. They're always telling you how, you know, just to have a very negative outlook. When I feel their energy, it feels like there's something attached to them, if that makes sense. And that's what the person's, and whatever this thing, this back and forth, something that keeps coming and going, has something attached to. I feel like it ruins everything it's around. Okay, so just be careful with that. You're gonna have to set some boundaries and not let it interfere. Okay. Hi, Hardy Home. Good evening. Well, I meet my husband this year, Tammy. Let's see. You do. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yes, you do. Both the Lovers and the Sun come up. You do. There's the Tower comes up too. I think you're going to go through a big change, but that big change is going to feel crazy when you're going through it, but it leads you to this person. Okay. There was a big change though. Thank you so much, Mills. Thank you. Tarika, well, me and my husband have a baby soon. I only have one over, and we have been trying. Terica. Yes. Yes, you do. Okay. You do. I feel like something about finances comes up too. So I don't know if this is something where you may have to pay for additional help or get something ready. But I do feel like coming up. But yes, you do. Okay. And if I had to put a date on it, I'm going to be honest. November, December. It's oddly enough, this feels like it's around like November, December. Okay, so end of the year is when I find out that you are. Well, you find out that I think you'll find out that you are. So you could be a couple more months, but the energy around that time feels like I'm getting more of a present than I thought. Been thinking about quitting my job because it's toxic, my boss and coworkers. Let's see. All right, this is kind of, I think you're a little bit in your head for sure, but yeah, like I get it. I feel like the issue is that you've been fighting for things that you're not going to get, right? I don't know how long you've been there, but I feel like you've been fighting to like get advancement, to get more opportunity, to get right, and I feel like things are against you. All right? So for sure, for that reason, regardless of how much you're in your head, for sure, for that reason, I think you just need a little something new. Okay, for sure. Here's the thing though, don't quit. And this is the mother in me speaking, okay? Don't quit before you have something else lined up. One of the things that I'm finding with a lot of my clients, specifically my coaching clients, it is really difficult right now to find a job. Okay, now it depends on where you're located. I'm in New Jersey, New York, like that sort of area. It has been very difficult for some people to find a steady job. All right, there's a lot of people looking right now. Oh, after an argument we had a month ago, Remus refused to speak and reconcile with me. Does he have you blocked on everything? Because I don't know what happened. I can tell you it's weird because you both still have a lot of love for each other. I mean, I kind of see him putting the nail in the casket type of energy, but there's a lot of love there. I don't know how long you were together. It's almost like the energy I feel is like I don't fully understand you. To be honest, I feel like he doesn't fully understand you. So you may be saying one thing and doing something else, or you're saying a couple different things. I feel like I don't fully understand you. Okay. I want you to write a letter. I hope this makes sense. You need to I feel like you need to do a brain dump. Okay. I don't know if you know what that is, but literally when you just write just to get everything out, because I feel I'm getting a sense that in the moments when I'm talking, I'm rambling. I'm all over the place. And I'm just, everything that I have in me, I'm trying to get out, right? I want you to get your thoughts in order, okay? You have trust issues. I need you to get your thoughts in order, write everything down to get it all out, okay? Yeah, he doesn't understand you. I don't think he understands where that's coming from. Will my ex K reach out to me anytime soon? No, I think this is over. Hangman comes up as well. So I do think this is finished. And I'm going to be honest, it feels like it's finished for a reason. Okay. It really does feel like it's finished for a reason. So I need you to trust that and kind of, and see if you can move forward. Okay. I do feel like you're sitting in the best moments. Okay. It almost feels like, you know how when you're in it, it doesn't feel right. Something feels off. But then when you lose it, it's like all you can think of is the best, like the good things. It's like you completely forget about how difficult things were. I feel like you're sitting in that space right now. Okay. Will I leave my job to pursue my personal training business full time? Yes, you need to move some things around first though. Okay. So prior to leaving your job, you have to really, start the majority of the process of this personal training business. You understand? Like you need to have people that you're already personal training. Okay. You need to have the other part of that is you need to have everything with your social media, build up your clientele, your future clientele. Okay. You have to have all that set first before you transition over. All right. You need to be at a point where you're like, okay, got it. I know I can do this now. And matter of fact, I'm already making almost as much as I'm in my job. So now I know that I could do more if I wasn't here. Okay. Don't let yourself quit too soon, because I do feel like that I don't really like it there anymore. You're welcome. Will my invention work? Yes, it is. Okay, so it's going to work. You're going to get some feedback on it. I feel like once you sell, because I do feel like You're gonna get it out there. Okay, it does work. You're gonna get it out there, and I do feel like you're gonna have to do some tweaking after that. Okay, so just be mindful. Here's my suggestion. Okay, once you get it set, I want you to do a beta test. Like, that's a real thing, like in the tech world. Okay, kind of a beta test. Your friends, your family, choose a few people if you can, you know, from wherever, I don't know, have them try whatever this invention is, and then give you feedback. Okay, they get to try it. Have them sign a non-disclosure agreement so they cannot talk about it. There's another agreement, I can't remember the name of it, that they also need to sign so they don't steal your idea. Okay, have them sign these type of paperwork so they can use it without you having to worry about it getting out there. And then they have to give you feedback on what worked, what didn't work. Have a form that they fill out with the right questions, okay, that you need to know in order to make that product better, so it could be mass produced or sent out. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? Also, just so you know, if you need help with it, I actually have a friend of mine who just made her own. It's called the Bougie Brush. She just made, and it sounds crazy. She made her own toilet brush, but the reason it's amazing, it is a toilet brush that has a cartridge in it for like the cleaning fluid that she's also going to sell. It's going to be her brand, and it clicks in, and then it has a, you know, like a button so the cleaning stuff comes out of it, and then the thing that it sits in is like all magnetic. This is already out, by the way. It's all magnetic, so it like clicks and hangs so it can properly dry. It's actually really cool. But she went through the entire process from start the idea to finding someone who could make it. She had to put a lot of money into it. She had to get machines made so they could produce it. And it's now on Kickstarter. So I can, you know, try to connect you to if you do have something so she can see if she can help, okay? Is Alex my soulmate, and will I have any more children? I do feel like you have another child, okay? And to be honest, it may be with Alex. But I do not feel like this person, when you say soulmate, I do believe you are meant to have children with this person, okay? I feel like that child is going to be gifted and has a very specific purpose, okay? But I do feel like the journey with this person gets very difficult. So I don't know that it lasts, but you are definitely supposed to have a child with this person. Okay. Will Mario propose soon? Mario. I do feel like they do later with like, I don't know if you guys have talked about it or you've brought it up, you know, in the sense of like, this is the direction that I want to go in. Right. And I'm not really willing to like stay in a long-term relationship until, you know, like not too long. I don't want to be with you for 10 years, you know, that sort of energy. I do feel like it happens. Just, you know, let them, I feel like they're in their head a little bit about it. All right. Let them get there on their own. I just be very careful with that person feeling like they were pressured into doing it. Okay. Because right now, that's the energy I'm feeling. All right. Okay, I'm trying to go up and make sure I get them all, okay? Propose soon. Will me and my small business be successful? I don't think I answered yours. Let's see. It can. You need to make it less complicated. It very much can. But there's a sense that there's something to cut here, okay? I want you to start. I feel like when in reference to the business, you're thinking of it already like this, like just this big thing, and you want it to be that, and I think you want it to represent yourself in a certain way. I just want you to bring it down to things that are actually doable and achievable in a smaller timeline. So break it up into pieces if you need to. Okay, smaller bits and pieces so that you don't get overwhelmed, number one. And that for number two, when you don't get that vision immediately, because I feel like you're seeing it like this and that feels like years away. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, it can absolutely be successful. Just bring it down a notch. Okay, focus on one thing at a time. All right, I feel like a sense of excitement and, you know, like I want to attack everything at one time. All right. And I want you to be careful with that because I've had several businesses. All right. Some of them did not work out. because I was trying to do too many things at once. Okay. Thank you for purchasing subscriptions for anyone new, okay? Well, my oldest son going to the military, Air Force. I will say, let me tell you something. Air Force is probably the best choice. They get such nice stuff. Their food is better than everybody's. Their gym is better than everybody's. And they get taken care of. Way better. Yes, it does feel like they move forward, okay? Yeah, I actually think it'll be very good for them. Yes. And I think it's Air Force. That looked like Air Force to me. Felt like Air Force to me. Okay. Will I ever find true love and get married? Miss Allen. Yes, you do. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit of a fight for some reason. And this feels like it's going to be with their parents. Parents or like their family. I feel like it's not a good mesh. Okay. But yes, you do. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever, maybe I've gotten one of those before. Thank you so much. But yes, you do meet the person. Okay. Will I get married and when? What age? I don't know if I'm going to be able to feel age immediately. I can tell, I can see what it feels like. You do get married. The number that's coming to me is 34. Don't know how old you are, but I'm getting 34. Okay. Thank you guys for subscribing. And thank you so much for the gifts. It's really appreciated. You're welcome. You're welcome. Going back up because I know that I missed some. Have I already met my soulmate? Beauty by Brene. You're 51 now. Oh my goodness. I was so wrong. Yeah, I'm not good with getting ages. I'm so sorry. Mary. Wait. Oh, that messed me up. Sorry, Bree. You'll definitely write that. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, write the letter. I think that'd be very helpful. I just pulled somebody's cards and now I can't find the question. I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, here it is. Renee, have I already met my soulmate? You have. Thank you. You have, actually. And it got cut off. Doesn't mean that wasn't meant to happen. I do feel like that was meant to happen. I feel like right now you may be sitting in a place of like, woe is me, almost. Like I'm getting a sense of like, like I'm almost tired of looking. Okay. That's okay. Because I actually think when you really stop looking, all of a sudden, here they come. Okay. Like I really feel like because you're not looking, you just start meeting some great options, two of which feel like soulmates. Okay. Is William my soulmate? So William leads you to be very careful with this. William leads you to your soulmate. William may be the friend or family member of your soulmate because your soulmate shows up in connection to William. Be very careful. You know, sometimes we meet people and we think they're the one and really, you know, it's somebody else they're close to. I do feel like they are. You're going to probably date William and then meet their friend and have this great connection where you feel like you've known them for a long time, or meet someone in their family, you feel this great connection, you feel like you've known them for a long time. That's how you're going to know. Remember I said this, okay? Is Keith my soulmate? Beauty Barbara. No. And I think in time you're gonna figure that out. To be honest, if you do allow this person to stay around, I feel like he kind of ruins things and leaves you carrying a lot of things you don't need to be carrying by yourself. To be honest. Will WP and I get married? Will he get his citizenship? Come back to the USA? WP. I feel like this goes so many different ways. Okay. So the first thing, the marriage, I don't feel like it's going to go through his marriage, but I feel like it's because he's kept where he is for quite some time for some reason. Okay. Something happens where I feel like you guys don't get to spend the time you're supposed to spend together, okay? Something gets in the way. And I think he has to start looking at his options differently. When he does, I do see you guys connecting, and then something changes again. So I almost feel like something happens that gives him an opportunity to maybe stay or be in the place where you are for a period of time, and then it's taken away. All right. And High Priestess comes up again. So just be aware of that. I was spot on. Oh, yay. Will I get the job offer after my interview on Tuesday? Should I move to DC? On Tuesday. Yes, don't get in your head about it, okay? I do feel like maybe something feels like it doesn't line up, or you're going to second guess. Don't get in your head about it. Whatever this is, I feel like there is a road to advancement that you just climb. Like, it's like... Okay, so I do feel like the move would be good for you. I think you'll be headed in the right direction. Okay, so I will say yes, if it requires a move, I do think you're getting the job offer. And if that job offer requires a move, or whatever this move to DC is, yes, I think all of those came out very well. Okay, and this job, I really feel like there's room for advancement here. Okay, you're welcome. Goddess Jazzy. Oh yeah, you ask whatever questions you want. I'm in here till what time I got the other one? Oh, I'm in here till like almost 11 o'clock, I think. I'm gonna stay as long as I can anyway. What is my purpose? You're welcome. Oh, hold on one second. Goddess Jazzy, will I get the head of sales role at Bounce? Is this a good move? I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like it's a good move. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. I feel like they're gonna put so much on you that it's gonna feel like they're sabotaging you in a way. Okay, like I feel like they're gonna put so much on you and not give you the support you need, not give you the things that you need, and you're gonna get very frustrated with the fact that you can't perform the way that you want it to perform because they are failing you. All right. So I don't know that this is the best move. All right. I feel like it'll be a fight. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Maxwell. Should I stay at my current job or start looking for something new? Moolah. You should definitely start looking for options. For the biggest reason, I actually think there's a way you could take home more pay. I'm just gonna be honest. I think you could take home more pay. I feel like my energy is feeling like you're paid under where you should be for the role that you currently have. Okay, and I think there's people that are willing to pay more. Okay, I learned this from a lady, and I didn't know this till I was much later. I'll just tell you this because I think it's something good to know, especially if you're young. I didn't know this until someone thankfully took me under their wing and taught me this. Okay, I was already a store leader for a company called Steve & Barry's back in the day. Okay, I was in the military. I came out of the military, was in the reserves. So still in the military, but in the reserves for a while. And I worked for this company called Steve & Barry's, big up-and-coming company up here, at least in New York, New Jersey. I think in LA they had some stores. They were everywhere, okay? I went from being an area sales manager at a Walmart, started working for Steve & Barry's as a store manager. They had several store managers in their store that would run the store. When I went there, I went in at the price that I was basically being paid already at Walmart, which was considered a big box store. And I went to a smaller box store. And I was just so happy to leave and get a job because I was moving. I told them the truth. I said, hey, this is what I make over there. And I at least want to make the same amount, right? And let me tell you something. They paid me the same amount. Okay, I was there for 2 years. In the 2 years, because this was a brand new kind of store and they were opening up stores like crazy, but they weren't ran very well. For 2 years, I never got a raise. So I was stuck at what I had already been making for a year there for another 2 years, right? And someone, one of the store leaders, she was older than me. She said, listen, I was like kind of venting because I'm like, yeah, I've been here 2 years and nothing is happening. You know what she said to me? What do you mean you took the same pay? And she said, never. She said, when you are applying for a job, it is perfectly normal and expected, because she actually handled the human resources side of the store manager job, right? I handled visual merchandising, all right? And she said, never, never tell them the truth about what you're making. It is normal for you to increase it by at least 20%. And I was flabbergasted because I couldn't even imagine, one, not telling the truth, and two, 20% was that was a lot of money for me. And I said, 20%? She said, yes, 20%. So when I left Steve & Barry's, and I did, okay, the next job I said I increased it. I'm not kidding you, like 25, 30%. And I went to Lord & Taylor. I was an area sales manager for them for a while. I increased. So when I left, I increased my salary. I think I was making another like $25,000 or so. And all I did was change jobs. And honestly, it was a lot less work, which was crazy. So sometimes, honestly, you have to make a little bit of a switch. And listen, it was up from there. It was so up. I went from Lord & Taylor, then I started working for Apple. I was at Lord & Taylor for about 3 years. Yes, automatic raise. I said, I never knew. I never knew I could do that. And so, yeah, I was making 6 figures by the time I left Apple. I said, this is, but if she never told me that, every job I would have said, yes, could I just please just have what I'm currently making, or maybe a little bit more? That would be great. Yeah, I had no idea. Anyway, so yes, if you feel like taking a different route, change jobs. Do you see a time frame for me to get my invention working, and how successful will it be? 3, 4, 6, 7. The 7th month, I think you take something to market. I think you have something ready. Okay. In the 3rd month, I see you signing something. So maybe you are, I don't know if you're in the middle of designing, but by month 3, I feel like the artwork and all that type of things are done. And I feel like you have an actual product that you can show people, have in your hand by the 7th month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, by the 7th month. Okay. Very difficult road. I'm going to tell you that. It gets very difficult. I think it's whatever gets that product to be an actual thing, I think is very difficult. And I can tell you, just by my friend doing it, is very costly. Okay. Just for her to create some of the ones that she has, and to be able to run this Kickstarter where she can create just a few. She had to buy, she found a place in China, but she had to buy the equipment, and the equipment cost was just $30,000. Okay, so I know it can be, if you can find someone that makes it, but when you're making a brand new product, and they have to create it from scratch, that can be very expensive. Okay, will I be able to go back to work, or should I explore avenues to work for myself from home? Let's see. Yeah. You're not going to be able to go back to work. You start exploring. Do you feel like, too, I don't know how, explore everything that you can, but look at things that you're already spending time doing, okay? That's what I'm feeling. Like, if you're one of those people, this is something I had to challenge myself with, because I am on TikTok way too much, not just when I'm live, but I find myself like randomly scrolling through TikTok, okay? And I was like, what are you doing? You're wasting. Thank you so much, Hardy Home. I said to myself, what are you doing? You're wasting so much time. And today I forced myself to make a video about the mop stuff that I have. So listen, I'm not leaving anything on the table. Okay, not going into this next year or this next year. I'm not leaving anything on the table. So I would suggest anything you're already spending time doing, turn it into a way. Thank you so much, Hardy Home. I love doing this, to be honest. Anything you find yourself spending time doing, try to find a way to make that work, or make something from it, so that you're not doing it for nothing. And what I realize is, I'm on this app, scrolling, watching people's stories and doing things. And I realized, I'm like, I'm not doing anything really, it's not pouring back into me in any type of way. I'm not talking about the live. I'm talking about when I'm just scrolling. Okay. It's not pouring back into me when I'm doing it. And I will sit, it's like, I start scrolling, and next thing I know, a whole hour and a half has passed by. It's really bad. So I said, you know what? No, if I'm going to be on the app, I have to be creating. Okay. Okay. What is my purpose and gift, Elizabeth Aliaga? Healer. I think the first part is healing, but also I think you can sense people's illnesses, okay, which is actually a little different. Not all healers can do that, okay. So I think there's a part of you that's clairvoyant in some way, okay. I think you can sense where people have. I can't. There's a word for it, but I don't know the word. But literally, I think you could just feel somebody's energy and be like, "Hey, is something wrong with your gallbladder?" You know, like that type of energy. Okay, I think you know that. Yeah. Yes. Do you feel that already, Elizabeth? That's what I think you do. Are you in healthcare right now too? I feel like you may have been guided to helping people in some way, not even knowing fully what your gift was, but I do feel like you just know. How long will I be at my job? Nick. 4, 5. For a while, I'll be honest. I pull cards based on years, okay, not based on months. So I hopefully, but spirit is like that could be months. I feel like you're still in like the honeymoon phase. Like you like work, things are good. At some point, I think things get to be a little tough during year 2, during year 3. I feel like you're pouring from an empty cup. By year 4, you're thinking about quitting, and then by year 5, you're like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Okay. So you are there for quite some time. Will Gavin reach out soon? Oh, your mental health. That makes perfect sense. Still healthcare field. Most definitely was perfect for you. Gavin does reach out. Okay. I feel like things were really good too. And they took a very odd, very quick. This feels like it had a very quick turn. I don't know if I don't know what happened here, and I'm almost feeling like a lot of anger. So I don't know if he just snapped. That's almost the thing. Like I'm almost surprised. Like what the heck? What just happened? That's the energy I feel. What just happened? I don't even know what happened. But I do feel like they come back around when they're feeling better. Okay. Princess, what does this mean? How did he hit me? Princess, I don't fully understand your question, babe. And I want to be able to answer it. So if you can answer it maybe a little bit differently, how did he hit me? I don't know if you're wanting me to describe something. Anyway, I think his cousin put a kibosh on things and he pulled back. Okay, yeah, it was sudden. Like, I don't feel like everything was going fine. And then suddenly, okay, and I feel crazy. I do think he shows up again. What does that mean? His cousin put a kibosh to everything, though. Why is he listening to his cousin? I have so many questions. I'm sure you have so many questions. There was an altercation. I can't recall if he slapped or punched me in the wall. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Give me a second because I'm going to ask Spirit if he can show it to me. This is definitely more than a smack. It's so weird because I don't feel okay when you say this is like a somewhere in between. Okay, when you say punch, I don't think it was a closed fist sort of thing. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, but it wasn't just a smack either. It was more than that. All right, this was like I almost caught myself in the middle. Do you understand? Like I'm mad. I almost feel like I'm mad, and I start off like this. And then by the time I get to the end, I've not stopped myself for sure, right? But I've calmed down slightly enough to make it less than a punch, but definitely more than a smack. I got a racial slur and I went to the wall and came back into on my knees. I called him a racial slur to the wall and came back into on my knees. Yeah. I mean, honest, I'm going to be really honest with you. This is, again, just me being a mom. Does it really matter? Listen, as someone who's been in an abusive relationship, Doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it was a closed fist or an open fist, open hand, palm, a push, a shove, right? Like, call it, you can, it doesn't matter what it is, it's still a form of abuse, right? So, the only thing you need to know is that it happened, okay? And you shouldn't be put in those type of situations. And I get it, like you said, exactly, thank you. Abuse is abuse. And words don't equal having to put your hands on somebody. All right. That's a sign of someone who can't control their outcome. And I get it. I get really upset at people. But I'll be damned if I'm going to lose everything I have because I can't take some words. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like when you're in that space, it's because you don't have enough reason to hold back. And that's just not a good place to be. So it doesn't matter. Abuse is abuse. How do I change to make it not happen in future relationships? Well, Princess, there's a couple things there, right? Because although you're not wrong, you should not be abused in any way, shape, or form. I am going to say you still have to hold yourself accountable for how you show up, okay? I get it 100%. Like, I was not just I'm going to say the neighborhood and the people that I was raised around, they don't know how to communicate. So their first thing that they go to is yelling, screaming. That's the way they don't know how to have a calm conversation. I had to learn that on my own. That was part of the reason I joined the Army, to be honest with you, because I recognized that I did not have the tools. All I wanted to do when I was in high school is fight, because that's all everyone knew how to do. No one knew how to communicate. I had to say, you know what, something is wrong. I don't think this is normal. I went to college for not even a full year. I saw people outside of the area I grew up in. I said, this isn't normal. Other people don't behave this way. I got in 2 fights in college, if I'm being honest with you. One of them with a guy. Part of that came from the fact that I was in an abusive relationship when I was young. And I said, this isn't normal. I have to learn how to control myself. And I joined the Army, and it helped. Changed my life, to be honest with you. Listen, so you have to be accountable for how you show up first. Okay. And then when you can hold yourself to that standard, you have the right to hold other people to that standard. Yes, meditating helps so much. Breath work, because I came home with PTSD, serious anxiety. Breath work saved my life again. Okay. When I came back from Iraq. So you have to put things into practice and start doing things to make yourself better. And then you can expect that the people that you're allowing in your life, you can expect them to be better, because the way that you show up is different. You understand? Oh, no problem. Thank you, Princess. Yeah, so that's what it is. So you have to say, you know what? I'm not willing to accept anything less than a person being like this, like this, like this. Like, set some things up for the type of person you want, and then you have to be that person, right? So no verbal abuse, no physical abuse. You can't be the person that starts any of those things, all right? And then you have to expect that person is not going to do that to you. It's all about respect. You have to respect yourself by showing up a certain way, and then demand that other people respect you the same way you're respecting them, okay? Okay. Mary Heather, relationship escape. Thanks, I'm so glad you escaped, Mary. Sorry, I'm now getting back to some of these. I'm glad you escaped. It's a very scary thing to be in an abusive relationship, and it's very difficult. I don't think people understand how difficult, because it's not just it's not the bruises that does the most damage. At least that's how I felt. It was a psychological part that was hard to escape from. I literally was in that and felt like that was the only place I could be, and there wasn't an escape. Like, it took me, well, I told a story earlier in life, but it took a lot for me to get out of that. And I was young. I was only 14. Okay, how do I change to make it happen in the future? Okay. Hi, Excel. Oh, look, and Mary Heather said connect with her. Okay, she's willing to help you. So connect with her. And listen, that's the other part, is having a circle of people, of friends, people you can talk to help, keep you strong, to be honest, and to help hold you accountable for how you show up is also very important, okay? Go ahead and say, and Elizabeth, you did the right thing for both you and your child. And I'm very proud of you, because that was a very difficult thing to do. A lot of times we moved for like, I gotta try to keep the family together, for whether you're worried about how it's gonna look. I don't think anybody goes into a relationship saying, I want to be a baby mama. That's just how it pans out, right? Like we want to keep it together. As I'm very proud of you for choosing yourself and your child. Amen. Yes. Listen, God got me through mine too. And it's I have to tell the story. I posted in here at some point, because that's the story I told this morning. That was the person. So I think I said earlier, I don't know if you were in here. I almost died, and that was the person that did it to me. I was 14 years old. He choked me to death. Good. That's so good. What a great give back, Elizabeth. And I'm sorry, working with that has to be so difficult, right? That, and I think that's the big thing, is teaching people not, right, to do that. That there's other ways. It also doesn't do anything. I think we confuse a lot of times, like when we want to be loved, because I do feel like the person that was hitting me really wanted to be loved. It came from a place of fear. But it's like they don't know any other way to communicate what they're feeling. And I feel like that may need to be taught, which means if it can be taught for them to be that way, then it can be taught for them not to be that way, So I'm glad you were doing that work. Hey, Key. Excel, let me see. I didn't get the question. Let me go up. My son's father. Excel, center roles. Thank you. Hi. Excel, can you ask the question again? Wait. Sorry, we were talking. I missed it, honey. I see the one that says, hey, did you get my question? But I went up a bit. I don't see the question. I'm so sorry. You put a question up too, Kay? Yeah, I see your wow. Sorry, we were talking. I got so into it. Okay, go ahead and ask for me, honey, so I can see it. It's not too many comments right now. Just resent it. Wait, where are you sending the question? You just have to ask here in the live. Where are you sending it, honey? It is a good conversation. It's difficult, but it helped me heal and also see them as victim of abusive. That's it. Let me tell you, you know what I learned from him? His father was abusive to his mother. Like, he grew up around that. And I think that's like a huge connection. And of course, his father was abusing him as well. Like, he grew up with it in his house. So he was taught it. And that's how he got that way. Am I at the right job, Jessica Mendoza? Jessica, no. I also am feeling kind of like you already knew that. Like you've kind of been ready to pack up and go. Okay, I do kind of feel like that. But why? Honestly, this is just me being nosy. Yeah, I feel like you know that there's other options out there. Okay, and I do think you need to pick up and kind of start changing some things around. Okay. That's the biggest thing. I feel like there's other options for you out there. This job doesn't feel like you're being utilized, to be honest. Fully utilized. Like, I don't feel like you're being appreciated, but also not utilized for what you're good at. Okay. Is the guy I'm dating being faithful and honest? Thank you for asking again. Say, oh my God, yes. See, I be getting it right sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes, and what I do is fantastic. Is the guy that you're dating? Wait, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, is the guy that I'm dating being faithful and honest? And you're asking that because there's been a lot of back and forth. He actually turns into the hermit a little bit. I feel like he literally just wants time to himself. I don't know that he's fully ready to commit. I'm going to tell you that. And this feels like I'm worried I'm going to lose this sense of freedom that I currently have. Okay. I feel like he has a good set, like a group of friends, almost like a group of guys that are in the same, you know how they all chat together. Like, I feel like he has a good set of friendships going on and he's been maybe single for a while or something. Cause I see him going out and he's enjoying himself, like that sort of energy. So I feel like he's afraid of kind of losing that sense of freedom a little bit. Okay. I really do think that when he's out, he's really out with the people he says he's out with. Okay. Excel, where are you sitting in here, honey? I don't know where you're setting it, but you just got to type it right in here. I don't know where you're setting it to. Will I be successful in my new role? Yes, you're sending it in here, Excel. Will I move back? That was from Mary. I see Kay, Heather, Jessica, Kay. That's back up to where I was, where I said good question. I did not see it. How did you stumble on my gift? It may have been blocked by TikTok. Yeah, what kind of question are you asking that it would get blocked by TikTok? Yeah, Lee Lum is right because I'm seeing all your other comments, but not the question. As many questions as you want. But I want to answer this one for, will I be successful in my new role? Lock chick. Hey, lock chick. Yes, very much so. Very much so. And I feel like this may have paid more. Okay. I see money heading your way. So if it didn't pay more now, it's about to pay more. Okay. I think you'll do very well. How did I stumble on my gift? A couple of things. One, when I was younger, I had imaginary friends, that type of thing. My mother too, even though I came from a extreme church background. Okay. I was in church like 3 days a week. Okay. My uncle was a minister of music and like all my family was like, had a role in the church, like treasurer and that kind of stuff. So that was a big part of me growing up. My mother though, I don't want to call her a black sheep, but she also had a little bit of a gift. And she had like tarot cards, that kind of stuff. So she used to do readings and stuff like that for me when I was younger. But I grew up having, feeling things, like just knowing things. I don't even know how I knew. I just knew, if that makes sense. And the biggest part was I would have dreams around when I was like in, a teenager. I would have dreams that were so vivid and I could feel everything, whatever emotion I was feeling, I could feel in the dream. And literally months later, it was like deja vu and I'd be living that same thing. It'd be happening. So that was the thing. And then, I started kind of researching, doing stuff and trying to figure it out. How many questions? You start Monday. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so happy. Can we ask? I think I answered. You can ask as many as you want. Will my business be successful? Did I answer that already, Sage? I might have. I went up too far. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that. Will I move back down from Naples, Florida? If so, what year? Oh. You move up almost immediately. This happens very fast, I feel like. So I'm gonna say early 2006. Okay. I almost want to say this year, to be honest. We have a few more months, I guess. I'm going to say between this year and very early 2006, like January, February. Okay. I feel like it happens quick. I feel like it needs to happen, as a matter of fact. And something may have happened in the family that requires you to move back. Okay. Excel, I'm going to keep looking for you, honey. Can we ask? No. Heather. Mary Heather. No. All I see is I resent it. Can you see it now? I don't see anything from you before that. Specifically in the question I just asked. Okay. Will I become a registered nurse, Princess? And I'll be honest, Spirit is telling me you messing with me a little bit. Okay, we're going to see where that goes. But Spirit is definitely in my ear and something doesn't feel right. Okay. But I'm going to leave it alone for now. A registered nurse. Yes, I feel like there's something has to change. Something you here's you becoming the registered nurse for sure. I think that's you walking away with what you needed, right? But then something changes. I feel like maybe you start the job and it's just like, what the hell is this? Like, okay, like something's off. Somebody's not treating you right. I feel like um it's almost like you're being treated like, I feel like you're being bossed around by a lot of people, and I don't think you like the way that feels. Okay, I'm just gonna be. I don't think you like the way that something feels off about it, and I do feel like you're like, what is there another direction I can go in? Because I don't know if I like this. So I want you to just be open when you get to that point. I do feel like it's just the people you're around. So I don't know if this is a hospital where you're working or whatever. I do feel like, I don't know why the people that you're around, maybe because you're new, I feel like it's a little bit of that like hazing type of thing. Okay. But yes, you do become a registered nurse. Will the business side just open be sufficient? Yes. Don't be in your head about it, okay? I do feel like you're going to have a time where things don't go great, okay? But then it fixes itself. Just don't get in your head about it, okay? I'm literally seeing things start to pick up, and then I think you want to add more things, right? Or do more because business is going well. I would let it lie for a little bit. Really get things as automated. That's the word that comes up. Automate as much as you can. So that you don't bite off more than you can chew, but it does do very well, okay? And I'm going to say fairly quickly, I actually feel that. I don't know if you just started this business. Most businesses take about 5 years. For some reason, I see yours taking about a year for you to really be like, oh, these things are going great. Okay, I hear this voice and sometimes I know things and get visions. That is most definitely how it starts, just so you know, Mula. You need to lean into it more. I would suggest start keeping a diary. And we talked about it earlier, meditation. When you can calm your mind successfully, whenever you see me like hold on and I'm like, I like pause and I get quiet, I'm literally trying to erase all the thought from my mind, and allowing whatever else can come in to come in. So do meditation and teach yourself what it feels like to just calm your thoughts or shut them off. I see it now, so she may see it. All right, let me see. There it is. Will my case be dismissed or work out in my favor? Dismiss or work out in my favor? It's okay. I don't think it's going to work out more in your favor, meaning you're not going to get, it almost feels like that, like a slap on the hand. So it's not going to be as bad as I think it could have been. And I feel a sense of relief. So I do think it works out in your favor. Okay. I don't know why that wasn't shown, but I definitely did not see it up there before. And as soon as she said that, I went up one thing and I could see it. So I don't know why I was blocking you from that type of question. Not to mess with you, fam. Off my self-defense and just have so many questions. Oh, no, it's fine. Listen, I'm in here. I'm probably going to be in here for another, probably like 10:50. Okay. I think that's what time I switched over, at like 9:50 or something. So whatever questions you can get out of me in here, go ahead and ask. That's why I do this for, it's a much smaller group, so I'm able to really get into it with you guys. Okay. So yeah, ask what you can. You're welcome, Excel. Oh, sorry. Yes, 2026. But no, I meant like late 2025, early 2026. So I hope that makes sense. Like, I feel like that happens really quickly. Okay. And I feel like there's a reason it happened. Like something comes up. Okay. That was for the move, right? I know you said abuse is abuse, but I'm just having a hard time from the situation. I know. What's the asking? You can ask another question. And listen, you're having a hard time because I think on a certain level, you're feeling like you drove them to that. Okay. But you have to be careful with, because you have to understand, like, you either have emotional control or you don't. And that's the concern. So it's not just abuse or abuse. Like, you either have emotional control and you don't. And the issue is, there is nothing that I think someone could say to me where I am currently. Now, listen, who I used to be, honestly, you could look at me wrong. I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? That's who I used to be. I had to grow up. So I know you're having a hard time with the situation because you probably feel like y'all really, are match made in heaven, because in one sense you were kind of being verbally abusive by calling him names, and you feel like you may have drove him to that. Listen, everybody can't be driven to that. And I think that's the part we kind of want you to understand. Not everybody can be driven to put their hands on somebody. Not everybody results to violence. Okay. So no matter what you said or how you showed up, something in him was capable of that. You didn't create that. It was already in there. You just helped bring it out. That's it. It was already there though. So you didn't make him that person. That's who he is. And he showed you who he is. You understand what I'm saying? Will you get to speak to him again? I'll ask. Cree, I'll answer your question too in 1 second, okay? Will you get to speak to him again? I do feel like in time, and I'm going to be honest, you may need to take a pregnancy test. Okay. That's all I'm going to say, but you may need to take a pregnancy test. Ooh, I feel that very deeply. All right, so just be careful with that. But yes, in time, but I feel like that's why. You almost have to. Okay. Oh, great. Cree, should I move back in with my boyfriend when my lease is up? Will he propose to me? It's like, I don't know. The feeling of it is like everything is actually, I feel like everything goes pretty well when you guys aren't living together. And then when you are, it's almost like there's little things you don't see eye to eye on. Like, like certain ways to keep things, certain way. So I think if you can meet him halfway, okay, Craig, like if you can just be a little more open with certain things and get him to be a little bit more open about habits and some of the things, right? Then I think that can go well. Okay. But it's really going to take a lot. It's going to take communication. All right. And then I think the second set of cards will change, because right now I do not see a proposal. I do see the relationship moving forward, but I believe that it's not a proposal. That's like, okay, what's the word? People do like a promise ring. It's almost like you move to the next stage, but not the goal. Okay. So this could be you guys talking about it, talking about marriage, naming your kids even, but not the actual engagement. So, but I do feel like with that holdback is something is not meshing well when you're living together. All right. But I feel like it's like we have different interpretations of what that is, what that means, and, like how things should be in the home. Okay. So STD test because I can't have a baby. Now I'm scared. Don't be scared, because I could absolutely be wrong. I always tell people that it felt like the birth of something. No, it's there. But I take both if you have it. Okay. Just in case. I mean, you should be doing that anyway, to be honest. But I do want you to take it. Will my youngest son have a better school year this year? Let's see. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to have to get a little bit involved. I don't know what happened at the school. Okay. This is something that has to do with the head too. Okay. This isn't confusion. This is something that has to do with the head. Okay. So I don't know if he has a special type of teacher or something here. Okay. Actually, there's nobody in here, so you can give me. All right. I do feel like it gets better. Yes. But I do feel like you're going to have to get involved and be very specific about what he needs. Okay. And be tight-knit with whoever this teacher is. Be tight-knit with them, so they feel comfortable coming to you with everything. Some behavioral issues in these 7. Okay, yeah, there's something here. Okay, like with the head. Meaning like, I don't know if you've got him diagnosed with anything. But maybe take him just in case. Okay, just in case. But be very tight knit with his teacher. Okay, I'm asking this question one more time. Will I be a neurologist? Hey, Kiva. Yes, it's a hard road for sure, but every card that comes up after that is very good. I think you'd make good money doing it too. I don't know if that's what I said before. Something changed, but very hard road. Okay. Not sure why. I know that's not the easiest job. Very hard road, but it does work out. Does work out, Kiva. Will I get a higher position with Chanel? Oh, Moolah, I feel like you asked that question. I'm sorry if I didn't get to it before. Yes. Yes. And you know what's crazy? I feel like somebody else gets cut, which is what either opens that position, but somebody's losing their job. Okay, it's not true though. But there's a cut that happens that makes room. Okay, the sun comes up. Here's your job. Here's you signing your new offer letter. Literally. So yes, you do. Should I be worried because I tend to forget things a lot? Hard time remembering things. Princess, yes, you should go see someone, okay? Especially if it happened after you hit your head. After that, what happened to you, okay? He's being diagnosed. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna, and I honestly think Leland that's why he's gonna have a better school year. Okay. I see a specific teacher for him. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And I feel like you're just going to, if you have a close-knit relationship, I think you guys will work together to make sure that he does have a good school year. Okay. Is my youngest daughter, Joanna, age 14, be threatened to be beat up by a schoolmate, Maya? Is she? Yes. Yes, and you should let somebody know. Yeah, and I'm feeling like this is like a sense of like, I don't think come from two different friend groups, but behind this other girl, I'm seeing like a lot of friends, like I'm being pumped up to do it. Okay, I don't even know if that, I don't even feel her energy that is really like that, to be honest. Okay, I feel like I'm being pumped up to do it. So I don't know if they had a little beef or something happened. Maybe they used to be friends or something, but there's literally a friend group behind her like, you got to do this, you should do this, and I would never, so I feel like they're really pumping her up. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, it could be just talk, but she said it, and I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to my kids, I take threats as promises. All right, so I would definitely step in if you can. Mullah, you're welcome. Wait, I didn't catch that. Oh, Kiva, yours was yes. It's a hard road at first. I can see that. But it works out really well. We're setting in favor, and it does look like it would pay very well. Okay, so I think just financially it puts you in a good place. I miss my granny so much. As she with me? Excel. Okay, there's not as many people here, so I'm gonna try. Yeah. Okay, so if this is your grandma, she has a very funny laugh. Okay, like a very high pitched, like I don't know, like she's almost screaming. Okay, tell me if she used to laugh like that. Yes. Okay, it's so funny because that's what she literally came in like, like I don't know, I can't do it, but it's a very high pitched laugh. Okay, yes, she's here. Do you have a question for her? Other than if she's with you, she's with you. She's your best friend. She's very funny, very playful, and for some reason she's trying to tickle me. I don't know if that was a thing. I don't know if that's a thing she did, but she's like hee hee hee, like I don't know. She's being very funny, and for some reason she's trying to tickle me. Yes, that's what she did. Like yeah, she's like she's like I don't know. She's like doing this little thing. She's tickling me, and then I feel her like doing this thing to my ear, like she just wants me to know that I'm here, and she's very excited to be here. Okay, so funny, but she's very funny. God, was she the type of play like practical jokes? That's the energy I'm getting Like maybe when she was a little younger or something, she played practical jokes. She's here. She's with you. Did you have a question for her? Excel? And Kiva, since I think you were just in the room, I'm also in the background asking if your brother's here, just so you know. I just want to know I love her. Yes, we laughed all the time. Yeah, she's just nonstop laughing and kind of picking on me. She knows you love her. And she said thank you for asking about her. But she does know. She does check in on everybody too, okay? And then, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm just seeing if I can pull Kiva's brother up again since there's less people in here, okay? Now, I don't know why. It's crazy because this person's here plain as day. And every time I try to pull him in, I feel like I'm getting somebody else. I'm going to have to try again. I'll keep trying. He may have, but Spirit's not telling me that he's reincarnated or anything, so I don't think that's the case. Should I date this guy Sean I'm talking to? He told me something that I'm eerie of. Let's check on Sean. Nah, this might be a little bit okay. I think I don't want to say, when you say eerie, it's weird because I feel like it's a little bit of a self, like reflection, meaning something he said reflected, made you think about someone else, like it reminded you of someone else, and it's like, whoa, you know, that's the energy I'm feeling. But then at the same time, the cards aren't positive with him, okay? So even though I do think you may have been slightly triggered, I'm also going to say, yeah, I don't think you should mess with him. And maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe that was Spirit triggering that. Okay, I do think it was a bit of a trigger. Should I date the guy Sean? Will my mom who passed June 2020 visit me? Will I be able to see her hollow at my shadow? At my shadow. Okay, shadow. Let me see. Hollow. Okay. Oh, what is that? Oh, she's showing me both. Okay, Hollow, do me a favor, or Mary. She's showing me a red dress and red rose. It looks like roses to me. Red dress and red roses. I feel like that has some meaning. If it does, can you tell me if it is? I'm going to use that as confirmation that I'm talking to her. Does my dad visit me? Key, yes, absolutely. Your dad visits you. All right, let me get confirmation really quick for that one. For Mom, Mary Heather. Hope you're still in here, Mary Heather. You didn't answer yet. Okay. 2020, I didn't get to say goodbye to him. Your father, Elizabeth Aliaga. Elizabeth, here's the best thing I can tell you. Because they can hear you when you speak to them. Even if you can't hear them, they can hear you. And they are always around, okay? The only ones that aren't around are ones who have chosen, specifically immediately or at some point, to be reincarnated. Because that is a choice, okay? What I kind of tell people to do, and it's two things, because not everybody's audible and not everybody can feel when someone's around, but they can most definitely give you signs. Light a little white candle, okay? Or I'm going to say white, preferably white, okay? Light a white candle, and you're just going to say dad and then talk to him, okay? And then the yes or no could be if the flame goes right or if the flame goes left. So right for yes, left for no, okay? And then have a conversation and just let them know how you feel, okay? All right, guys, it's 10:53. I'm going to answer one more question and then I'm going to have to jump off. Okay, it's getting kind of late. Am I going to have to get into the X-ray program, and will I graduate X-ray program? Yes, I do feel like something changes, and it makes me feel like you're going to have. That's what changed. Okay, is you having to get into the X-ray program. I do feel like there's a sense of like fear around that, right? Absolutely, I get it. I do think it's going to be It's obviously a difficult task, but I think if you take it on, you actually wind up really good. You do. Okay, so yes, and it's going to be hard. So what, I don't think that was the path you initially wanted to have to take. But I think if you take it, it works out really well. Just, take your time with it, stay study. There's going to be a point where you feel like you're drowning. You have so much to worry about and so much work to do. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm drowning. But it's really going to come down to time management. I think you're going to do really well. Okay. Tony is my grandmother at peace. Yes. And also, I don't know, Tony, I don't know if she used to drink with y'all at a certain point. Maybe when she was a little younger. Because that's what I saw immediately. Yeah, you're welcome. She does feel at peace. All right. All right, guys, this is my last question. I love you guys so much. Again, once a week I'll come on for subscribers. I'm trying to make that every Friday night because I know most people hopefully are not working, okay, the next morning, or you're staying up a little later on Friday. All right. So Friday nights, subscribers, you guys get to ask whatever questions you have. Again, if you didn't get everything out or something comes up, feel free to book a private session with me, okay? All right. I love you guys very much. I will see you next time. It's your day off. Yes. Enjoy your day off. Have fun. Okay. Princess, don't forget there was somebody in the comments that said to connect with them. Okay. So make sure, I cannot remember the name. Oh my goodness. Princess, please make sure you connect with them so you have a circle of people that can support you. Okay. Cree, if you're talking about the booking with me, there's a link in my bio, takes you to my website. So it's a link tree. So you click on that first link. Click on not the one that says Lemon 8, obviously, but there's another one. Click on that one. It'll take you to my link tree. And the first one is going to take you to my website so you can book, okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.